With the Wimbledon draws finally coming out, I thought instead of making my own prediction on who's gonna win, I've left it up to a computer, AI, and simulate the results in a game called Tennis Elbow to find out who is gonna take the trophies this year. So I guess we'll start off with Sinner's quarter of the bracket, where if he makes it all the way to the quarterfinals, he's projected to be playing against Musetti, I'm pretty sure, so it'll be a nice little all-Italian clash. I am wearing the Roma kit to represent, but to spoil that party in this section of the draw, you still have some good players in and around. Players like Tommy Paul, Dimitrov, and also I think you had Ben Shelton as well, who are all super capable to make quarterfinals, so you just never know. But let's see what Tennis Elbow has to say about it. So I guess we'll start with Sinner and his road to the quarterfinal, and yeah, it's looking like he's been just killing the competition out there. He hasn't even dropped a set in the first 3 rounds. And he's now in a last of 16 clash against Tommy Paul, who managed to beat Dimitrov in the 3rd round. Okay, so I guess we'll leave that there and we'll see who's in the other last of 16 in this bracket. And you have Hugo Humbert, who managed to beat Ben Shelton. Okay, that's a shock to me. He beat him in a crazy... What is this match? It was a 5-set match and it ended 12-10 in the championship tiebreak. That is crazy. Okay. And then in the other last of 16, I'm expecting to see Musetti, right? And oh no, we have Nakashima who beat Musetti. What? That is crazy. I guess Nakashima is him. Okay, my fault. And then Nakashima also beat Humbert in the last of 16s, but won due to retirement. So this game's out here predicting injuries. Okay, that's kind of crazy. So he's going to be in the quarterfinals and ends up being Jannik Sinner sailing his way through again in straight sets. Okay, I guess now we'll look at the the second quarter of the men's draw. The projected quarterfinals, the 2 top ranked players are Jack Draper, a huge UK favourite who could go far this year, and you also got Novak Djokovic also in this bracket. So that'll definitely give shades of when Murray used to clash Djokovic in all those games on centre court. But again, within this kind of bracket, Draper's got a really tough draw. He has to go up against Bublik perhaps in that 3rd round, Mensik in the 4th round as well. 2 players he's lost to this year. Oh rah, never mind. So it happened to be that both Bublik and Mensik both lost in their 2nd rounds. Right, okay. So Draper gets away from playing against those 2 and he does enter the quarterfinals now pretty comfortably. Now we'll look at how Djokovic did. Where does Tennis Elbow predict he will end up? And his path, to be fair, isn't that bad, to be fair. The only player that I see giving them some kind of trouble is Alex de Minaur. And yeah, luckily there was no upsets on this side. It ends up being a last of 16 match between Djokovic and Alex de Minaur. And to be fair, it's been no walkover for Djokovic. In that 3rd round, it was another big 5-set match against Alex Michelson, and he ends up winning the final set tiebreak 11-9. So in this match against de Minaur, fatigue might come in as a factor. You just never know. We're gonna simulate the clash then, and ends up being Alex de Minaur. Okay, damn, he beats Djokovic in the last of 16 in a, what was it, 1, 2, 3, 4, in a 4-set match. For me, that's definitely the biggest shock of the tournament so far. That is crazy. So instead of Djokovic, it will be de Minaur going up against Jack Draper. Okay, damn. Okay, now we're gonna see who's been predicted to make the 3rd quarterfinal at Wimbledon. And in this section, we have a lot of contenders. So we have Taylor Fritz, we have Medvedev, we have Zverev as well, who are probably the favorites to make the quarterfinals. There's been a lot of upsets in this side of the draw. Already, I'm not seeing any of their names even in the last of 16. So in the 1st round, we have Taylor Fritz against Pericard, and Pericard actually beats him. Okay, so what happened to Medvedev? Lost in the 3rd round against Alexei Popyrin. And to be fair, that's not even a bad call by the game. Popyrin has beat big players before at Slam, so this could easily happen. And then Zverev, what happened to him? Oh, I forgot about this name. I forgot about him, you know. So in the 3rd round Zverev played against Berrettini and lost to him in straight sets. So yeah, although pretty unlikely, Berrettini can easily become another dark horse in this tournament. As you all know, he has been there, done it before. So he got all the way to the quarterfinals and he will face Fokina in the quarterfinal. Okay, now we're going to move on to the final quarterfinal spot, and the players in this part of the draw is, of course, Carlos Alcaraz, who's probably the favorite, looking to three-peat the tournament this year. But this year, he hasn't got the simplest of paths. He's got Felix Aliassime, Rublev, Tsitsipas, Holger Rune all in his way, who are players on their day could trouble Alcaraz. And on this side of the draw, have I seen any upsets that Tennis Elbow has cooked up? What am I looking at here? So we had Rublev actually losing in his first round clash. You also had my favorite Ramble matchup with Jacob Furley playing against Fonseca, which was actually won by Fonseca, but then he lost to Grigspor in that second round. And then you also had Holger Rune losing in the third round to Grigspor, and that was a tough 5-set match. He ended up losing. But looking at Alcaraz's path, then he coasted through the first 2 rounds, beat Aliassime in the third round, and also beat Tsitsipas in a tough last of 16, so he is in the quarterfinal. And it ends up being Tiafoe who enters the quarterfinal and will face Alcaraz once again. I remember last year they had a pretty good match, so I like this. Okay, we've also simulated the women's tour, and I swear with the WTA, and you can never predict who's gonna win, but let's see who Tennis Elbow has predicted. And looking at the quarterfinals now, definitely been a lot of upsets in here, so let's find out. Sabalenka did not get to the quarterfinals. She lost where? In the third round to Raducanu. Hey, as a guy from the UK, I don't mind this pick at all. But realistically, I don't know about this one. I feel like Sabalenka may be a little bit too powerful, especially on the grass. But hey, I'm not complaining. And Raducanu has been on a dream run, it seems, as she got all the way to the quarterfinals and is up against Madison Keys, so another tough match for her. Obviously, you got a few fan favorites in and around. You got Ons Jabeur losing in the second round there against Ostapenko. Tough one. Hopefully Ostapenko is nowhere near Swiatek in the draw, because you know how that one's ending. I guess you also have like fan favorites like Iyala. What happened to her? Oh no, she lost in the first round to Krejcikova. Coco Gauff. What happened to her? I don't see her in the quarterfinals. She lost to, is that Sophia Kenin in the third round. Damn, okay. The game has predicted that it will be Raducanu against Madison Keys, Paulini against, is that Schneider? Something like that. And we've also got Mira Andreeva going up against Pegula. And then in the final quarterfinal for the WTA Tour, you have Swiatek. She will go up against Kenin. Now it's time to go through the men's quarterfinal. And if you remember the first match, we had Jannik Sinner going up against Nakashima. And Nakashima's dream run came to end as Sinner wins it in 4 sets. And it ends up being Jack Draper coming through with the win. So who knows, this could be his year. And on the other side, then we had Fokina against Berrettini. Kind of a strange quarterfinal there. It ends up being Berrettini winning that one. And on the other side, we had Tiafoe going up against Alcaraz. And unfortunately, Tiafoe couldn't do it again and loses to Alcaraz. Okay, so the first men's semi-final clash, we have Jannik Sinner going up against Jack Draper, and we're gonna simulate it. I can't jump in and watch it, unfortunately, because there's not a thing on this game. The first set went to Jack Draper. He blitzed Sinner and won it 6-1. God damn. The second set went to Sinner. He came back and won it 6-2. Okay, the second set, Sinner won it again. He won 7-6. So he is 2-1 up right now. The fourth set, Draper came back and won that one 7-5. So it goes to a final set between these two. And this final set finished 7-5. But did this go to Draper or Sinner? And the winner was the man from Italy, Jannik Sinner. So he enters, is that his first ever Wimbledon final? I'm pretty sure. And on the other side, we had Berrettini going up against Alcaraz. Can Berrettini find that form he had once upon a time at Wimbledon? or will Alcaraz enter his third final in a row? Let's find out. This match also went to 5 sets, but of course there can only be one winner, and that was Carlos Alcaraz. So Sinner will get his rematch against him at Wimbledon. Okay, so back to the women's quarterfinal, and the results were Madison Keys beating Raducanu, and she will go up against Schneider. And then on the other side you had Jessica Pegula continuing that form, and she beats Andreeva in the quarterfinals, and she will go up against Swiatek once again. Okay, if you didn't know, those two played in the final just the other day, and I think Pegula won it. It could end up being a Keys and maybe a Swiatek final, but let's see if Tennis Elbow agrees with me. So entering the final, I guess we'll start with the Keys Schneider match, and it was Madison Keys entering another final this year. And on the other side, it wasn't Swiatek, it was Pegula who came through. It's gonna be her against Madison Keys in the final. To be fair, again, the game has not done a terrible job, but like, I can definitely see these two players making the final. So I ain't too mad at it. There were a few mad results, but other than that, not bad at all, not bad at all. Okay, so the women's Wimbledon final, who is gonna win it? Is it gonna be Madison Keys or Pegula? We're gonna press simulate on it, and we're gonna see who is gonna take it. And okay, this match was won in straight sets, quite convincingly to be fair. It was 6-2, 6-4. And the winner taking her first Grand Slam is gonna be Jessica Pegula. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about that. Okay, the men's final, as you remember, it was Jannik Sinner and Alcaraz. Can they put on another crazy display that we saw at the French Open? Is Alcaraz gonna 3-peat, or is Sinner gonna take his first Wimbledon title? And this match was surprisingly won over 3 sets. It wasn't the same crazy clash we saw at the French Open, and the winner ended up being, oh my god, winning another match against Alcaraz. It was Jannik Sinner. Okay. So Tennis Elbow has predicted that Jannik Sinner will win this year's Wimbledon. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a little like. This took a while to set up, so yeah, any likes, anything like that would be appreciated. Subscribe, all of that stuff. But yeah, that's been all me for today, and I'll chat to you guys in the next one.